So there's now this case of this writer and commentator who has to pay huge fines and faces 60 days in prison just because he said something mean to a lesbian. But here's the thing, and sorry for repeating myself, but you know that video where I talked about that has been banned on TikTok for hate speech, so I have to speak about it again. Back in the day, I thought the LGBT community was about equality, but with cases like this, I've noticed in recent years, oh, we want a special treatment. And here, that's just how it is when you demand of people that they can say certain things to us, that they can insult us, when there are special rules in regards to how they are allowed to speak to us, otherwise they will be put in prison. That is the definition of special treatment. And if you want true equality, sorry, there's no other way around it. You have to advocate for free speech. And the other thing that annoys me about that is that these types of lesbians, these lesbian feminist and LGBT activists, they always say, like posting the stupid picture of this 1940s woman, like, we can do it, yeah, what can you do? You can put people in prison for saying mean stuff against you. Wow, great. And you always say you're strong and independent, but how strong and independent are you with something like that? And I just wanted to talk about the fact that when people see this now, this headline, they will be reluctant to say anything negative about the LGBT community, and there's a lot. There is actually a lot to say about the LGBT community, what you can criticize about us. And instead of doing that publicly, like on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, with X, I'm not so sure. Elon Musk took over now, but it's really that. I mean, it is better than before, but I still don't think we have 100% free speech on there. That's why I'm saying instead of going to these four popular social media sites, these people will go now to private chat rooms or to social media sites that aren't as popular, and will talk about argue against what the LGBT community is doing, which I'm, as I said, not offended by, because it is common sense to call out the LGBT community. I'm just saying, but that when they don't face any opposition, their hate against us will grow stronger and stronger and stronger, and at one point, we will have like in Islamic countries, there are people who will suggest that we should be put in prison again for being gay, that we should be thrown off roofs from roofs off roofs just for being gay. And I'm not overreacting here. When people see they are put in prison for saying mean words against us, me thinking that it could lead to actual discrimination against us, like when they retaliate, this isn't too far off. You know, it isn't even 100 years ago when Alan Turing he cracked the Enigma code, and people say without him we wouldn't have computers. It is debatable because people say there was someone before him, but you get my point. He contributed to society, but because being gay was illegal back in the day, he had to choose between going to prison or chemically castrating himself, and as a result, he committed suicide. And this is just 70 years ago, and you see how quickly things can change, but they can also change back to those times when we continue to act out. Back in the day, it was justified that we have LGBT activism because we were actually discriminated against. Gay people were allowed to be fired from their jobs just for being gay. And I mean, I'm not really a fan of gay marriage, but I still think these tax benefits and so on. Um, I mean, this is another topic. I'm just saying, if you wouldn't have invited to the state into marriage, then gay people would have never demanded. I mean, they would have demanded same-sex marriage, but they wouldn't have a good argument. So don't get me wrong. As I said in previous videos, I'm not really interested in gay marriage, but I'm saying, in the end, back in the day, what was advocated for within the LGBT community in regards to equal rights, I got the point. It made sense when you wanted it looked like equality. But what we're doing right now, this is discrimination. Back in the day we were discriminated against, and now we are like the people we used to hate. We are now currently discriminating against straight people. And if you're not making fun making fun of me, I mean, for saying that, I have evidence, not just that headline, but there are FBI statistics that show that there are hate crimes against straight people, committed by gay people, and admittedly not many, but we are also not many LGBT people, and I promise you, if the LGBT community, if LGBT people were a majority, or at least 50% of the population, the hate crimes against straight people would be worse than homophobia. I know what you're talking about. I go to gay forums, I go to read gay news because someone once said, no, die enemy. I am looking what you're doing, and the way you talk about straight people, the hate you have for heterosexual people, not all of you, but many of you, it is way worse than what this person said, and according to this logic, you would be all in prison. So I'm just saying, when straight people now go to other social media sites, argue against you, and hate grows more and more and more, justifiably so, when you see headlines like that a person goes to prison because he said something mean to a lesbian, when people start to hate you because of that, it makes sense. This, at one point, there's a tipping point, and I tell you, in a decade or two, we gay people, we will see times again like what Alan Turing went through, and I don't want that. So this is a warning to gay people. If instead of reporting my video again for hate speech, how about you maybe notice that you are currently the ones who discriminate against people, and maybe you shouldn't do that mistake, like learn from past mistakes and don't go over the top, and actually care about real equality. And otherwise, as I said, it will, the hate against gay people, actual hate, not mean words, actual hate will return. We will be discriminated against legally, and I don't want that, so I'm speaking out against that. Not just because of that, because this is insanity. This, a guy being imprisoned for saying mean words to a lesbian, is insanity. No gay person, and not like, this is not just random gay people. It says in the headline, LGBTQ groups praise the jail sentence. This is many of you, not just a fringe group. This is the majority of gay people, the opinion of gay people who support this. If it weren't the majority, I would see much more opposition to that, but many gay people are happy about that, and not me. That's why I'm talking about speaking out against you, and I hope you wake up soon, because this won't end well for us.